women understand how difficult it is to be a man. Yeah, I said it. That's how I got my first stab wound, doing that joke.
I used to do, the format of my podcast was different back in the days. I had
Mention the name of your podcast?
called Man School 202.
There you go.
Instagram is the Real Man School, whatever. It's on all platforms. But there was a cat, Cisco, from Love and Hip Hop back in the days. And I asked him, has he ever had a drink thrown in his face? And he was like, come on, yo, I'm on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? That was his answer.
Given that that's going to happen.
And I was like, I've never had a chick throw a drink in my face. You know what I mean? And I think there's what you call a drink in the face type dudes. And
face type dudes.
And I've never been a drink in the face type of dude. I'm trying to think of the analogy there. So I rode motorcycles for my whole life. I started riding motorcycles. I was about 10. My boy had a Honda XL50, and we was riding illegally. I had stopped for a while, and then I started again in 99. And I had to get my license, take the test, and I took a safety course. And I realized dudes who I would ride, I was coming down, and then this bus came out, and then the cab, I had to swerve. And I took this safety course, and it was so enlightening. I just never had these close calls.
Right.
Like the dudes who I was riding with. And when I say that, I say, when a guy says, oh, girls don't talk on, you a drink in the face kind of guy, or what it means is
drink
you would never learn.
Guy. That's crazy.
You would never learn to carry yourself in a way that throwing a drink in my face is not an option.
Happen.
Talking on the phone, somebody telling me I don't talk on the phone, is just really, first of all, if you're on the dating apps, right, there's a few things you're looking for. You're either looking for some companionship, you're looking for sex, or you're looking to smash, or somewhere in between that.
All the above, right.
But if this is going to be a little harsh, but if she don't want to talk to you on the phone, chances are she's not going to suck your dick. There's a big, long space between talking on the phone and intimacy. The level of communication to be designated, why would I even tolerate that? I think
can I surmise what you just said in a way? You saying if she's not willing to open up her mouth on the phone, she's not going to want to open up her mouth when she see you.
Fair enough. It absolutely is. And then if you go where she says she don't really talk on the phone, I go, well, I would just say, well, listen, I'm trying to get to know you. And if you're not willing to pick up the phone and talk to me, we probably are not a good fit in the first place. Out. And if any time I've ever took a stand on anything, we're not just talking about frivolous, you can't go out unless craziness. And anytime, if you're talking from a reasonable perspective, and somebody doesn't have the emotional acuity to understand that what you're asking for is reasonable, you probably shouldn't pay for the date anyway. Like this is a way to filter all the crazies.
It's definitely got to be a filter for sure. And this is what you teach your brothers on your podcast, right? And you've been doing this for a long time, because I've known you about 30 years now.
Yeah,
I've known you for a long time. So this is right up all your alley for as long as I've known you. I did an interview a couple weeks ago, about a week or two ago, and the dude was saying, he was looking at how many different things I've done in my life and stages I've done in my life. And bro, this is kind of on brand for you, even though because we ain't even talk about you being a comedian that much and all of that. But at the end of the day, you've always been on that relationship thing from the start. I don't know if you want to get into your beginning, but from the start with the ladies and everything.
We can get into it. So first of all, my dad, just like me, he had me late. My dad had me when he was 49, right?
Oh, wow.
My dad, he was a youth worker. He did tournaments and basketball tournaments, and he did organized.
And this is in what city? In New York, right?
Yeah, primarily.
Right.
Invented the 6 foot and under tournament.
He invented it.
Yeah. That was only 5'2". And so he had civil service tournaments. He had unlimited. He had seniors. He had Pee-wees. He also had something he called foot and under. So if you were over 6 foot, you couldn't play. So you had guys who were like 10 that could dunk, and guys who were playing centers.
He's big, 5'10" and could dunk.
Yeah.
It's huge, yeah.
Five,
had hops.
Right, not me. I'm not saying me. I'm just saying
but anybody.
Like,
if you 5'10" and could throw it down, that means you got what we used to call hops.
Of course, yeah. And then you talking about every 5 foot had handles. So the gameplay
especially in
was
New York. The handles was the thing.
Yeah, this before and one. So the world saw and one, and you got guys in the NBA with handles. You know,
New York always known for their handles.
Absolutely.
You know, always.
And you Rucker. They talk about fourth. Their spot was Soul in the Hole in the Bronx.
Soul in the Hole. Yep.
My dad ran Park, Wingate Park, the other one, and they all knew, they were the refs were affiliated. But so all this time, doing youth, a lot of times he wasn't really there for me because he was doing it. He was in the streets doing it for everybody else, and so I didn't really have the example that he showed. Which a lot of times I tell people all the time, don't even matter what you teach people. If it's what that kids watch. It's the example that you're showing. Because you as a man, as a child, you are depiction of manhood to your daughter and the model for your son. So when you shit, all you're doing is dooming your children to repeat all mistakes that you may not. It's not really relevant, but it's directly relative. So, but he said masculine, a good provider, but we didn't have a lot of. He was 1920, so he was.
By the time you came around, he probably didn't have all that energy to give to all the way
he still had the energy because he was in the streets.
Okay.
It just wasn't me. But what you find also is, my dad was 5'2". My dad was the boy of 16 kids. We're just talking about a time where kids was not heard. Like you put over their head. Yeah. You school. You hope that they stay out of jail, and if they don't die, you
did a job. You did your job.
Right.
And graduated high school. Got out of high school.
Got out of high school. You good? Like even if you go to college, but if you went to college,
high school, if that was even better. But if you just graduated high school, didn't get locked up, go to jail, I did my as a parent.
So I had a lot of about relationships with women, or the dynamic. Which, if you really think about it, that's how I end up in jail a lot of times.
Oh shit! I think we lost you. Hold on, we lost you. There you go. You back? I see you. I got you.
Yeah, that whole. That's the motivation of everything. And once your initiation, like I like that becomes them your gear, your job, your whatever it is. That's everything.
Hold up, can I just hold you right there? I got a female cousin real close to. She's like my sister. She's younger than me, but she's smart. We had a whole debate one time, and I was trying to tell her that exactly what you just said. I said, why dudes do a lot of the shit that they do? It really starts with trying to impress a pretty girl they like.
Yeah.
That's really a lot of that shit starts from, you like the dudes with the new sneakers.
All of it is.
This gear, this, that.
Yeah.
But this is how we are programmed from young. You got a crush on a girl. You see who she like. He fresh. He got this. He got that. I got to get the latest kicks. And then if your parents can't afford it, you start running the streets trying to do what you got to do to get it, right? That's where a lot of it starts.
Yeah. That's all matters. Matters is the validity in the context of women, and that women validate you or approve of you. So but I didn't have a dad that was talking to me about it. But he was always streets too. But and I guess that. But it was
I'm picking you putting down.
Yeah.
I'm picking up and putting down. You say he's in the streets.
Like it's funny that I'll be watching YouTube and I watch these random. I had a fan that I had and I wanted to fix it, right? So I went and I Amazon bought soldering irons and screwdrivers and shit, and then I started taking the fan apart, and then I realized, I don't know how to put this back together. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have, point is, what I'm saying is, you gotta have somebody to teach. And if you don't have somebody teaching you, you gotta get out there and figure it out your own, with a lot of hit or miss, a lot of errors. So I was, like, they're trying to figure it out. And I didn't really, I was kind of shy and kind of introverted, and I wasn't a bad looking guy, but I would, when I went to college and I started stripping.
Did you go to get into? But I just want to know real quick.
Yeah,
you went to New York.
I went to SUNY Newport. So I went upstate.
Got you. Okay. So by you being and all of that and trying to figure out, you started going, because that's a mean transition. You started stripping, you said?
Well, I was shy when I was younger, and I was always, and I was afraid. And at a very young age, I was trying to.
Were you afraid to talk to girls, to women?
I was afraid of everything. My dad was.
Got you.
My dad was afraid of everything. My dad was a depression kid that grew up in Jim Crow. So like, don't go there. Don't do. They'll shoot you. And don't play this. You'll get hit by a car. Don't do. You know what I mean? It was just like, and that
raised you
kind of
fear.
times you're thinking. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to figure out, and I had like a couple of bullies in 3rd grade, 4th, but I was the type of kid, like, I'd get bullied and it would stay in my head for a month. Like, that incident would replay in my head. Like, I would go to bed at night and it would just, I couldn't sleep because I got bullied and didn't do something about it.
Got you.
And I was just like, I was afraid,
Right.
And well, how can fear, right? And I the way I say now, it wasn't crystallized when I was a kid, but I understood that the longer I take to access, and so the way I say it now, the way to overcome fear is you have to access the opportunity as soon as the opportunity is presented.
Thank you.
Meaning, the longer you take to access the opportunity, right? The more the fear builds, and then the fear.
Just repeat that last part because we went out for a little bit.
The fear. When you're presented with an opportunity, the longer you take to access the opportunity, the less likely you are to take action. So the longer I'll give you an example. You go to your little kid. You're a kid. You go to a birthday party. There's a girl you want to ask to dance, or you go to the community center jam. The girl you want to ask to dance, you with your boys, you see her, you want to ask to dance. The longer you take to ask her, the more difficult it is to ask her, because the fear builds you to be paralyzed.
That makes sense.
And then you don't quit, and then they go, last song, the lights come on. It's too late now. You get so paralyzed with the fear. So it's funny. It's funny because I remember there was I think it's right. There was physical. Things in motion tend to stay in motion. Things at rest tend to stay in rest. Right. So like, if you drop a boat in the sand at a beach, the longer that boulder sits in the sand, the deeper it goes in the sand, and the less likely you are to move it. Whereas when boulder drops, it's bouncing. You can actually push it and move it with little energy. So it was kind of a concept in my head, and so I got a point where, like, if I would go to the party, something, and I saw somebody, even if I remember going to the community center, which was like over by Seagate, like where like beach.
Back in days, yeah.
And that was thug. That was
the fight. You had to know,
But I saw this little cute girl. Yeah. Oh yeah. Easy happen. Yo, why you looking at? You know what I mean? It was crazy. I see a girl that I was attracted to come in. I come in with my sheepskin, right? As soon as I see the girl that I like, I go, yo, you want to dance? And she would be, oh, okay. Like, because I'm so aggressive, just be like, oh, this motherfucker, he knows what he wants. But it wasn't that. I was scared. And I knew if I waited long enough, yeah.
Okay.
I knew if I long, it would, she'd be like, okay, let's go dance. I'll go, hold on, let me put my coat down. You know what I mean? And then I'd be in it, and then once you're in it, you move. And so I realized that when opportunity is presented to access it immediately. Otherwise, you allow the opportunity to slip away. And then I use that philosophy. For
So wait, you saying early on that was your early philosophy that made
yeah.
on you that out, and once you figured that out,
And I think I was a freshman in high school. So, you walk into and there's some rough niggas, whatever, and they always got them, and they testing the waters. Dude, if a dude approach me, try to punk me or something like that, or just you trying to get up by bullying motherfuckers, I would punch a dude in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck you? Oh, this nigga is bang, and then. But it wasn't. I was afraid, and
I get it.
Action, which is funny because I realized later that action was the thing that made people respect me, because you start to realize everybody around us has fear.
That's a fact.
And
I was gonna say that, but go ahead.
Because even the bully, he's picking you because he think you ain't got nothing for him. He's not fucking with bully. You know what I mean? He's fucking with the new motherfucker who thinks he can take advantage of. So he can build so that he can maintain power. But I was the dude, because I was afraid, the guy would push me and I'd fucking take a swing. Before he was even ready, where he, in that place where there was a margin of error, you know what I mean? Right. But there was no margin of error because I was fighting these in my head. And then everybody around was like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy.
But how did this get to the stripping? That's what I'm trying to get to. When you got to college. So what happened was I became this person. Whenever an opportunity came up, I'll do it. If you me, I'll do it. It was accessing all the time. Yeah. So I pledged was a Q-Dog, well, also because Q-Dogs was the roughest fraternity to get in, right? We know that there are guys who had died online, so I wasn't going to pick, and no disrespect to the other Divine Nine, but everybody knows the Q-Dogs was the wildest motherfuckers, and the hardest one was Omega. Like, they were pledged the hardest, difficult. So I got to this place in my life where I was challenging myself all the time. I could have ended up dead because I was challenging myself in that way, Divine Nine they had a Toys for Tots thing. They were going to do a male review. They didn't pick me. They picked another Q. He backed out last minute. I think it was 5 days before the show was, and this was like after we ate to the city. And I said, yeah. They asked me, I was like, yeah, because I was that guy. Just was like, yes, on everything. I said yes to everything.